Hello and welcome to a Star Citizen Squadron 42 development update, looking at what CIG have been focused on for their single player campaign over the last few weeks and what they're working on now in March 2024 and what is the road ahead. So Squadron 42 is in its polishing phase now. There are Squadron 42 strike teams that are helping get the game out the door, but it is getting there. A lot of the remaining CIG teams that are no longer needed to work on Squadron, because it is very near completion, are now working on Star Citizen's persistent universe and bringing Squadron 42 features over to the persistent universe, which is why they've got quite a meaty 3.23 patch as their next major patch release, and probably even more with 4.0's release thereafter. CIG does appear to have some big announcements that they're looking to give us at CitizenCon 2954, which is on the 19th and 20th of October. It's expected that we're going to get a Squadron 42 release date then. It's not confirmed, that is the current expectation. I do think that that's the case, and I do think we're going to start to see a traditional marketing campaign after that, and CIG will start putting their shows up like the briefing room again, where they hype up and talk about Squadron 42. It will be part of its campaign. A lot still remains hidden about Squadron 42's development. However, the monthly report that they give us has a good amount of information about what's going on, and we're going to look at that, starting with AI. The AI content team continued to make key enhancements and refinements, with the Idris Stanton, that's the name of the Idris, receiving a lot of focus recently. For example, dynamic conversations were fine-tuned with updates to NPCs' standing positions and additional randomizations to provide a more authentic feel. Updates were also made to the gym, including punch bags that now align perfectly and animate smoothly. They also reworked gym hours to be more balanced, so players will see the correct number of NPCs whenever they choose to visit, because the idea is it's a living, breathing ship and people are going to go back to the bunks or have other duties. Plans for busier times were created to ensure NPCs can always find a place to work out as well. Additional animations were added to the bridge, including hands-on ears to demonstrate cross-ship communication and add variety. Throughout the ship, NPCs will now carry a more diverse range of items as well. Trolley pushing and cargo handling animations were refined for added realism, while the security officer outside the bridge salutes players as they walk by. The AI features team progressed on 2 key fights and continued to improve combat animations for FPS encounters. Hit reactions were also enabled for NPCs. The team also expanded the movement system to allow NPCs to use an ad hoc animation to enter cover locations without passing through dynamically created paths. They also continued to support the other Squadron 42 teams by investigating and fixing various bugs. Spaceship behaviors were also iterated on to deliver better ship versus turret combat. Fighters will now correctly target standalone turrets and perform appropriate combat behaviors. Specifically for Squadron 42, AI tech focused on support and bug fixes across the project. For example, they fixed the calculation that animations use when NPCs enter cover to ensure they're facing their target. They also fixed an issue with ship operators' seats, causing the AI thinking that only a specific animation was available when exiting. The weapons team have been improving wear maps across all FPS weapons, so this is sort of wear and tear. They also redesigned iron sights along with screen sizes for dedicated tools and multi-tools. The bearing P4AR was reworked and various improvements were made to the fire extinguisher too. The P4AR looks a bit more streamlined, but it is still the same kind of weapon. Gameplay Story have updated a number of scenes in Chapter 16 with the newly standardized helmet setup. They said, "It felt great to see these scenes finished off and to see the helmet animating nicely as the character puts it on." The team also began receiving new facial animations and mastered audio, allowing them to complete several existing scenes. Alongside this, new motion capture enabled significant updates to a range of scenes. For example, a 2-person scene in Chapter 4 was reshot to account for a new location and start poses, significantly improving the overall scene. Polish was done for Chapter 1, and a small but significant update was made to the cast in Chapter 14. Level design. They worked on Idris interstitials, so basically these are scenes and areas that connect the different parts of the game that you can sort of stumble on and explore. So the recent work involved making sure the chapter can play out from start to finish, and that all narrative and scene content is present and correct. For example, ensuring that the medical flow is working, objectives and markers are in place, emails are set up, ship chat room content is present, mission brief text is updated, and the landing and takeoff sequences are correct. Outside of interstitials, feedback was addressed and polishing was done for Chapter 1 and the Fortune's Cross and Shubin Archon locations. The narrative team continued to close out Squadron 42's remaining text needs. This included providing chatter for some of the background environments, creating mobiGlas content, writing content for cinematics, and continuing to create other opportunities for environmental storytelling to enrich the locations and provide a sense of history. As mentioned in the last report, the team continued to work with the gameplay and design teams to polish the Galactopedia experience, solidifying the approach for when and how articles unlock. The existing entries were also passed along to the localization team to start translation. They said, without spoiling anything, the team kept working closely with an artist to create some exciting content. The team also developed some lore for another set of collectibles that will require art as well. No spoilers. Narrative continued to review the latest levels via playthrough and video to see if scenes are triggering as intended, alongside polishing the overall narrative experience. VFX, they focused on polishing and optimizing an effects-intensive in-game scenario. As part of this, the artists began looking at areas where they can create bespoke explosion texture sequences to create a more cinematic, high-fidelity experience for the player. The UI team worked closely with environment and cinematics teams over the last few weeks, creating several pieces of movie-style UI that will appear during cutscenes. They also created scenes around the game levels to help with storytelling and atmosphere. Design work was also done to improve EVA and AR markers. Boom! That's it for your Squadron 42 report. If you want to see the sort of latest videos on Squadron 42, the sort of latest information that CIG have on up beyond just reading it, you can check out the I Held the Line stuff that they showed at CitizenCon last year. That is the most up-to-date view of all those Squadron 42 features that they are hoping to get in our hands in the Persistent Universe this year, but also that Squadron 42 is going to come with, hopefully in a even more refined way. I am very excited for Squadron 42. It is going to have some connection to Star Citizen as well, sort of filling out a journal and giving you some additional stuff that you can then unlock in the Persistent Universe, like the F8 Lightning, stuff like that, contacts, potentially reputation, military gear, lots and lots of stuff. So yeah, it's worth playing Squadron 42, it's worth getting it to aid in your Star Citizen experience. Something interesting actually with Squadron 42 at the moment is it's still not on sale. They sort of took it off sale a while ago, and I believe that they're going to be selling it again relatively soon, potentially might be starting at CitizenCon this year, and with a slightly higher price tag. And also, on a little side note as well, they've sort of been working on a new launcher for Star Citizen that looks like it's going to integrate Squadron 42 into that as well. But anyway, I'm really interested to know what you think. Are you excited for Squadron 42? Are you only keeping up with it because it's also got basically Star Citizen updates? Are you into one but not the other? Are you happily into both? Do you think we're going to see a Squadron 42 release date talked about at CitizenCon this year or even before? Do you think we could get a Squadron 42 released by the end of the year, or is it much more likely to be in 2025 like I think? Whatever your thoughts or questions, I would love to hear from you in the comments below. Let me set you a riddle. You have a fox, a chicken, and a sack of corn, and you have to transport them from one side of the river to the other using a rowing boat. You can only carry one of these with you back and or forth. You can't leave the chicken and the fox together. That's mad. Nor can the chicken be left with the grain, nor all three together without you. How do you do it? With nordvpn.com/BoredGamer. Turn that bad boy on and just set your location to the other side of the river. Done. Not only do you have all your wares, but also you can get around regional content blocks, have your data encrypted for more security. It's easy to toggle on and off. It's non-invasive. It helps you with other riddles as well. If a sphinx is asking you, what goes on 4 legs in the morning, 2 at noon, and 3 legs in the evening? NordVPN! Get it now from the links below. Every month we have a giveaway for a ship, and for March we are giving away an Argo raft with persistent hangars, freight elevators, and hauling missions coming with Alpha 3.23. What better way to experience that type of gameplay than with your own hauler? All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning that is comment on any of our videos made during the month. A single comment per video counts, so get involved with watching all my videos for more chances to win. There's more details in the description. Also, I won't ask you to contact me on Telegram or anything like that. This is my only YouTube account I will use to talk in my comments as well. Occasionally there are scammers about. I don't want people to get tricked. A massive thank you to everyone that supports the channel, be that liking videos, commenting on them, sharing them. There are also people that go the extra mile. These are amazing people that become Patreons or use the join button under my YouTube videos to become channel members. You'll occasionally get some exclusive content, Discord roles, and behind the scenes posts. It's those people with those memberships that allow us to make the daily Star Citizen content that we do. So please consider joining those awesome folks as well. Thank you for watching until the very end. It is genuinely appreciated, and I hope you have a great March.